For today's cool down, I have a quick and easy charm bracelet idea. So what you'll need to get started is some braid texture wire, and that's great because it's nice and flexible. Then you'll also want to choose your favorite charms, and I'm using some pewter charms that are made here in the US. You'll also need some cord ends, some industrial strength glue or epoxy, a few jump rings, and a clasp. So it's really quick, and all you need to do is start out by cutting your wire. And to measure this, I measured just slightly shorter than the length of your bracelet because you always want to include those cord ends and clasp. So I'm going to cut about a 7-inch piece of wire. And I'm using special wire cutters that retain the wire as you cut, so you don't have to worry about it going flying, especially when you're cutting off little short wire ends, you know, those pieces can fly. It's nice to use cutters that hold that in place. And then, of course, you're just going to add some glue to one side. And what I like to do is glue one side of the cord ends on first and then add my charms. Just remember that you got to add the charms before you glue the other side on. Now if you get a little bit of extra glue like I did here, you can just take the edge of your piece of paper or a little bit of scrap and just run it along the edge of the clasp, and that wipes away any glue without getting it on the rest of your finding. And always work on a protected surface. I like to use sticky notes because then you can just peel it up and throw it away. Okay, so now I'm going to just choose a few charms. And here's a place where you can make it really personal. You could spell something out. You could use your initial letters or initial letters of your loved ones. I'm using grandson's initial letter and a little birthstone here for the month of September. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the other end and then press my cord end into place. And then I'm going to set this aside and let this one dry. Okay. So for the one that's already dry, then what I'll do is get ready to add my clasp. And what you're going to have is an assembly of 3 jump rings here. And it's handy to use 2 pairs of pliers. And you know, we always talk about opening jump rings to the side, and you can hear even a little click when you know that it's closed. So slip one onto your clasp, and then you're going to close that one up. And then you'll just come with another jump ring, and now I need a second one because this is going to help my clasp open and close a little more easily. You know how we always talk about putting a small bead toward the end of your toggle bar? So this is kind of acting as that same idea. So it's keeping it nice and flat when you're wearing it too. I'll close that up. I can hear it click. And I use my other jump ring to add a toggle ring to the other side. Now these cord ends come in different sizes and different metallic finishes that coordinate with the clasp, so you can choose the one that works perfectly for your design. You could do the same type of project with cording. You could use any type of chain. So I can't quite get my jump ring through there. There we go. Then close it up. Then this guy is ready to go. Now, another quick and easy idea that I just wanted to share with you is that you can use spacer beads on your charm bracelet to add some different effects. So like by combining these little tiny spacers or some larger spacers with charms, it makes a really nice look. So to do that on a bracelet like this, you may need to just pry this hook open just a little tiny bit before you slide your spacers onto it. And then you can add your charms. Oops, I got it backwards. There we go. And I like combining the 2 different metallic colors. So this is using like a hematite or gunmetal color, the black oxidized finish with the silver. You could also mix together antique brass or antique copper. And then this one is ready, but I could just keep adding if I wanted to cover the whole bracelet, or you can hold it in place by just giving your little spacer bead just the slightest of a squeeze with your pliers, and then it keeps all of your focal elements together in the metal of the bracelet. So these are just a couple of quick and easy charm bracelet ideas to cool down.